The next day, Naruto would head to the training ground where Team 7 always held team meetings. He would find Kakashi waiting for him under a tree reading his favorite book. Kakashi would inform Naruto that he's been away for far too long and Kakashi needed to assess whether or not he was still worthy to be a Chunin. Of course, Naruto would accept the challenge and the fight would begin. Naruto would begin to stretch as Kakashi closed his book and raised his headband. Naruto would close his eyes and take in a deep breath as he used a little bit of the Nine-Tails chakra. Naruto would use Wind Style, Beast Wave, Gale Palm. Naruto's arms would begin to be covered in wind chakra, taking the shape of massive claws. Naruto would launch this attack at Kakashi. The wind would begin to cut through the ground, leaving claw marks. Kakashi would quickly weave hand seals and use a massive mud wall, but the jutsu would tear straight through it and destroy the surrounding trees behind Kakashi as well, carving into the ground. Kakashi would be nowhere to be found, but there would be a hole in the ground where he last was. Naruto, remembering many years ago when he first fought Kakashi, would be waiting for arms to pop out of the ground and for him to be dragged into it, but nothing would happen. So Naruto would run into the forest and search through the trees, and he would find Kakashi sitting on top of a branch reading his book. Naruto would pull out the kunai and immediately rush in to attack Kakashi, but Kakashi wouldn't even react. As Naruto sliced through Kakashi, he would explode into electricity, briefly stunning Naruto. As Naruto landed on the ground, a bit dazed, arms would finally pop out of the ground and Kakashi would drag Naruto into it. Naruto would use some of his strength to at least keep his upper torso above the ground. Kakashi would finally reveal his real self, who was hiding behind the trees. Naruto, now finally seeing the real Kakashi, would weave the famous hand seal for the Shadow Clone Jutsu, but Naruto would summon two Shadow Clones that would rush towards Kakashi. Kakashi would notice the difference in their chakra and immediately know what Naruto had just summoned. Naruto would duck his head under the ground and Kakashi would begin to run at a blinding speed as these two Shadow Clones exploded into a massive explosion, causing a massive crater in the ground, just barely catching Kakashi in it. Kakashi would still be a little bit dazed and laying on the ground, but before he could fully be adjusted to what just happened, Naruto's clone's hands would pop out of the ground and begin to grab onto Kakashi's body as multiple Naruto clones popped out of the ground and began to rush at Kakashi. So Kakashi, being left with no options and needing something to rescue him dearly, began to emit purple lightning from his body, which would dispel the clones, and he would begin to focus this purple lightning into his hand and begin to slice through the clones that Naruto sent after him. Kakashi would rush towards what seemed like the real Naruto and hold his purple lightning to Naruto's throat, asking him whether or not he gives up. But this was a clone, and the clone would point behind Kakashi, where the real Naruto would be holding Kakashi's Icha book with a lighter in hand. Kakashi would go wide-eyed and declare the fight over, and Naruto was formally reinstated as a Chunin. You've grown, Naruto. Lord Jiraiya has taught you more than I had expected. Naruto would throw Kakashi's book back at him. Oh, you're too kind, Sensei, but please, let's not make everything about me. What was that jutsu you used? Purple lightning. What is purple lightning anyway? I've never seen you use that before. I got the idea from the Cloud Ninja we faced 2 years ago. He used black lightning. Unfortunately, that's a bit too difficult to replicate, so I made my own variant. Damn, that's awesome. Can you teach me that? I mean, it's not impossible, Naruto. I could potentially teach you. Kakashi wouldn't be able to finish his sentence as he would collapse to the ground. Naruto would be very panicked and try to wake up Kakashi-sensei, but he was out cold. Naruto would carry Kakashi to the hospital. The nurse would tell him that Kakashi was chakra exhausted, but he would be fine. Naruto was relieved but a bit sad that another sensei ended up in the hospital because of him. To get his mind off of all of those things, Naruto would hang out with his friends a bit more. He would even manage to convince Tsunade to go drinking with him by buying her favorite whiskey. But after a couple days, Naruto would finally be assigned a mission. And it would be a big mission, his first S-rank mission. His mission was to track down Orochimaru's bases and potentially rescue Sasuke, but the main mission was to track down Orochimaru's bases and destroy them, crippling Orochimaru's influence around the nations. Since Orochimaru had a lot of connections within the Leaf Village, Tsunade couldn't really risk giving Naruto a big team for this. So Naruto would go on this mission alone, but he would eventually be backed up by Jiraiya once they rendezvoused at a certain location. Even though Naruto had only been home for about 5 days or so, he was being sent on another mission that would take up months of his time, and he would be away from the village, away from his friends. But since Naruto really wanted to find Sasuke, he would have no choice but to take on the mission. After a couple weeks, Naruto had managed to rendezvous with Jiraiya, who had already set up camp for the night. Good to see you all healed up, Pervy Sage. You had me really worried for a while. I thought you might leave this world. Kid, no need to worry about me. The strongest ninjas have tried to kill me, and they've all failed. A couple scratches from you won't do much. Well, I'm still glad to see you're okay, but I do have a question for you. I've been thinking a lot lately, but I was wondering, why did you leave the village? What do you mean leave the village? I'm still a part of the village. I'm still doing a lot of S-rank missions for the village. The type of missions that the village doesn't want to be linked back to, but I'm very much still a part of the village. Yeah, I know, but you spend years away from the village. Don't you miss it? To be honest with you, Naruto, not really. Besides Tsunade, everyone and everything I used to love about the village is gone. It's my home, yes, but whenever I stay too long, I'm reminded my home has changed. You know, it's funny you say that, Pervy Sage. That's exactly how I felt when I came back to the village. I don't know, I felt kind of crazy, but the village just feels different. The people I know are still there and the buildings are the same, but I just get this feeling. It doesn't feel like home to me anymore, and I don't know why. Whoa, Naruto, slow down now. Don't tell me you want to go rogue. I don't want to have to hunt down my student and Orochimaru now. No, rogue. I don't want to go rogue. I'm just saying that whenever I become a Jonin, I kind of want to be like you in a way. Not a pervert. I just want some space away from the village to maybe write books myself, or just enjoy my life a bit more away from the village. I'll do the difficult missions, but I don't really want to stay in the village. I don't know why. I want to explore a bit. I kind of get that, but don't say this around any other Leaf ninjas. They might not take too kindly to you saying you want to leave the village. Might be misinterpreted as treason. Just keep this to yourself for a little bit. We can talk about this a little bit more when you do eventually become a Jonin. Naruto would lay back and look up at the sky, seeing a single cloud in the night sky. You know what? Now I kinda get why Shikamaru says he wants to be like a cloud. The cloud looks so free. It's enviable. Anyway, I should probably get some sleep. I have a long mission ahead of me. After 7 months of only finding abandoned and booby-trapped bases, Naruto would finally manage to stumble upon one of Orochimaru's bases that still had one of his subordinates managing it. The person who would be managing this base would be Karin Uzumaki. Naruto would infiltrate the base and quickly realize that the person who looks like a normal human being and doesn't look all mutated and weird is probably the person in charge, so he would kill all the mutants. He would seal a couple of them and tie up Karin and send her back to the Leaf Village, formally completing his mission. Naruto would hand in Karin to the interrogation and torture unit, and he would be praised for completion of his first S-rank mission, but he would be surprised to be informed of everything he missed while on this mission, including, but not limited to, Gaara being captured, killed, and being brought back to life, Team 7 and another squad finding Sasuke but completely being outclassed and defeated, failing to bring Sasuke back to the village. Naruto would be kind of stunned and find it hard to digest the information that if he had stayed in the village, he could have potentially brought Sasuke back. But having Karin means he'll definitely get his chance to track down Sasuke. Ibiki would be kind of sad because Karin just told them everything they wanted to know relatively quickly. He didn't really get to torture her all that much. Naruto would head over to the hospital to check on Kakashi, who was in the hospital again but had just gotten released. Hey, Kakashi sensei, for probably the most powerful ninja in the village, you're pretty fragile. Yeah, I know, Naruto, I'm working on that, but while I was in the hospital, my mind was still hard at work. I'm gonna be honest with you, Naruto. You and Sasuke's strength currently, from what I've heard, is fairly close. But the last time it was close, you lost. The Sharingan just gives him a certain edge that you can't match unless you completely outclass him in strength. But if what I'm thinking of works, you won't just outclass Sasuke, you'll outclass me and everyone else in this village. Are you up to it, Naruto? When do we start? Naruto would say with a determined look on his face.